Which Chicago Bears player is going to break out in 2022? Let's talk about it. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking some NFL. Here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button. All right, people. So you see the title. I'm here to talk about who I believe is going to be the breakout player for the Bears in 2022. And no, the answer is not Justin Fields before you guys start thinking about that. It is somebody else. So I'm going to talk about that, why I believe he is going to break out this season, and just kind of talk about the reasons I like it, the components around it, and everything else in between. So let's dive into it. All right, so taking a look at last year, the breakout player for the Bears was wide receiver Darnell Mooney. Had a heck of a season. The year before that, maybe you can make an argument, Jalen Johnson, though I think that might have been his rookie season. So either which way, we have seen the breakout players, the young guys that have done it. So who do I have breaking out for the Bears this year? And, you know, I've talked about him breaking out before, but I truly, really do feel like this is the year. So hopefully I'm right. It is Cole Kmet. Tight end Cole Kmet, folks. And here's the thing. The reason why I'm picking Cole Kmet is because you might be thinking, Faiz, Cole Kmet had a very solid season last year, right? He had, 60 catches and 612 yards last season, which is pretty solid production for the tight end position. But he had 0 touchdowns. That's a big issue, folks. A goose egg in the touchdown department, big issue. But more importantly, the reason why I'm saying he will improve even on those numbers is because I believe he is capable of it. Okay, so here's why I like Cole Kmet to break out for the Bears in 2022. Number one, we've got a weak wide receiving core this season. Now, I just talked about Darnell Mooney breaking out. So why am I saying the wide receiving core is weak? Because after him, they really don't have much. It's Byron Pringle, and then it's a bunch of, guys. We're talking about Equanimeous St. Brown, David Moore. We drafted Velus Jones Jr. We signed Tajay Sharp, Dante Pettis. It's just a bunch of guys. I'm sorry. Hopefully someone emerges, but it's just you rotating these guys in whenever, the coaching staff sees fit. But for the most part, the two guys on this offense that are going to be on every snap you can count on is going to be Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet. Now, again, maybe Byron Pringle, but we know Mooney and Kmet. And so Kmet is going to benefit from the fact that he is going to get a lot of playing time, just like he did last season. And also, there isn't a number one, a number two dominating receiver. I get Darnell Mooney is good. He's going to be our number one. But we're talking about a veteran receiver that's going to command a bunch of targets, right? That just because he is a veteran and he needs to have the ball thrown his way. So I believe because of the weak wide receiving core, we're going to see Cole Kmet improve even on these numbers. Again, 60 catches for 612 yards. Pretty dang impressive for Cole Kmet. I can see him being an 800, maybe even 1,000-yard receiver, tight end, but I guess he is technically a receiver too in a way. I can see him putting up those numbers just because of the lack of talent at the wide receiver spot. So it could literally be 2,000-yard receivers for the Bears, one being Mooney and the other being Kmet. All right, that's number one, weak wide receiver core. Number two, another year of experience. Again, we saw Cole Kmet improve on his numbers going into his third year now. He improved first year, then second year. The thing with Cole Kmet that I've seen a lot of Bears fans, even myself, have an issue kind of at sometimes is he's not flashy and his numbers don't pop and his play on the field doesn't usually pop. He doesn't make the sexy catches and he doesn't make the flashy plays. He's just solid and steady as they come. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's kind of what you want. It's just production. But the problem was we need him to score in the red zone. Cole Kmet, I think a lot more people will be talking about him if his final stat line was 6,606 TDs instead of 0. You cannot have your number one tight end, who is as talented as Kmet, have 0 touchdowns. So that's a problem. But another year of experience, I believe Cole Kmet absolutely is going to get in the end zone. It's just a matter of how many times. Hopefully it's a lot. But we're talking about another year of experience. And keep this in mind. The tight end position, one of the hardest positions in essence to learn in the NFL, because we see rookie tight ends struggle and then it takes him a few years to get along. So now going into his third year for Cole Kmet, we've seen guys, and I'm not comparing him to them, but we've seen the late bloomers, right? Travis Kelce didn't pop till his third year. George Kittle, I think second year, he did pop, and then Darren Waller really didn't do much in his first 4 seasons, and then, boom, has a 1,000-yard season with the Raiders. So we have seen these star tight ends blossom late as far as, when they break out. And so the same thing could be the case for Cole Kmet. So number 2 reason, another year of experience. And finally, number 3, the offensive scheme. Folks, we're talking about Luke Getsy's new offensive scheme, which is, of course, we all know the West Coast style passing game, the Shanahan style. And in this offensive scheme, it's all about rhythm, timing, getting the ball out quick, and getting it to your playmakers. And what have we seen in San Francisco? A guy like a Jimmy Garoppolo, who's okay, he's not elite. He gets the ball out in that timing rhythm offense to George Kittle, who makes those plays. Obviously, George Kittle is much better, obviously, and I'm not comparing Kmet to Kittle. But point is, the tight end in this offense is going to benefit because of the quick throws, right? The tight end is not going to be the guy running the go route, the deep route. And so you aren't really going to have that. You're going to have a lot of quick, short passes because we want Fields to get confidence, and we want Fields to be able to, gain the rhythm in the offense by doing that. So I believe this scheme is going to benefit Cole Kmet, just like it benefits Kittle in San Francisco, and just like we've seen this West Coast style passing offense benefit other guys. Heck, Robert Tonyan, in Luke Getsy's former team, the Packers, put up 500 and some yards in this offense. So, and I think Cole Kmet's way more talented than Robert Tonyan. So that is another point for Cole Kmet breaking out the offensive scheme. Number 3 reason for why he will break out. So at the end, that is why I believe Cole Kmet breaks out. I'm going to say a stat line for you guys, okay? I think Cole Kmet is capable of 75 catches. He had 60 last year. There's no reason why he can't, produce more. And that was in full 17-game season. 75 catches, maybe even 80. We're talking 800 yards, maybe even 1,000 best case scenario. And we're talking 3 at worst to 6 touchdowns and even more past that. So I believe Cole Kmet breaks out this year, one of the young emerging tight ends. And I'll leave you with this. TJ Hawkinson, who made a Pro Bowl last season or the season before, had 67 touchdowns and 723 yards. But he had 6 TDs. Cole Kmet, literally 7 less catches last year, 100 and some 20 yards less of receiving. But it's the touchdowns where the big difference is 6 TDs to 0. And TJ Hawkinson made a Pro Bowl, and everybody thinks TJ Hawkinson's a stud. And he really is good. The point is, the numbers, not as far off as you think. So hopefully Cole Kmet breaks out. Can't wait to watch him this season. Let me know what you guys think about Cole Kmet and him being my breakout player for the Bears in 2022 as always.